Okay, right. Welcome to Where and How to Get Help Month. I'm chatting with Mikel Segal. Mikel, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we will get on to the monthly topic?
Okay, sure. Thanks, Emily. So I am trained as a family physician, and I have been studying for the past number of years in integrative health and lifestyle medicine and longevity medicine. And more recently, I've been coaching. I have a life coaching certification, and I am certified through the ICF. And so my really area that I love to work with is with women and just a whole person approach to wellness. And that's wellness in all spheres. So emotional wellness, physical wellness, mental wellness, everything that comprises what wellness means to a person. So,
Awesome.
and I love to just support women through their journey to try to make them feel their best. Yeah.
Awesome. So
Mhm.
you're a very good person for us to talk to about where and how to get help then.
I suppose I am.
I mean, it's sort of it's a topic that I put down as one of the monthly topics because I see people coming into the hub, into the Facebook group, regularly saying, what do I do? Who do I talk to? How do I, you know, and maybe people aren't really feeling like they're not being heard by their doctor, or they don't want to go down a medical route, so maybe they want to, and they're just like, I don't know where to start. And
Yeah.
yeah, so where, just briefly with your physician hat on,
Yeah.
where would you want somebody to have started when they come to see you?
Um, well, it's funny when you say that people come to the hub asking for help, because I think like by even just coming to the hub, they've taken the first step. So
Yeah,
that is amazing. So even just by being in a place and saying, I need help, you've already you've already kind of come so far, because actually just sort of acknowledging that you need help is the first step. And from a
yeah,
lot of people, that's the hardest step. So the fact that you've made it into the hub, you've asked for help, like that's amazing. And after that, then it does get easier. So it kind of depends sort of what you feel your biggest area of need is, and just I think assessing, um, having someone to listen and sort of hear where you're needing the most help in is helpful. So going to your family doctor, or just even if you're able to kind of figure out for yourself which area of your life you feel needs the most work, and then kind of going from there. But I think just kind of taking a step back, taking a pause, and just checking in with yourself. And you can do it alone or with the support of someone, like family doctor, a coach, a friend, and just sort of saying, okay, which area of my life is really suffering the most right now?
yeah,
And then you can kind of, um, turn to the right people to help you.
absolutely. It's interesting. I when I'm sort of speaking to clients, I often talk about looking at the whole list of perimenopause symptoms, and we might
Mm,
be experiencing a huge amount of them, but they'll all
yeah.
be affecting us differently. For me, if insomnia hits, I grind to a halt. Emily on no sleep, bad thing, you know.
Yes,
But some people can get by on next to no sleep, so the insomnia wouldn't be an issue for them. For them,
hmm,
it might be that the hot flushes are the really
exactly.
debilitating thing, or whatever. And so what you've
Yeah,
said there is absolutely spot on. It's identifying what you need help with, isn't it?
yeah. I think that's the big first piece is sort of figuring out, okay, where, which area of my life is causing me the most grief or trouble, and so that, because you can't, it's if you kind of just, your brain can kind of just take off and just start spinning its wheels when you have so much going on. So really just kind of, just as I said, kind of taking that step back, just kind of looking at the big picture, and just kind of trying to focus on the first one or two main areas, is a good place to start. Yeah. And then oftentimes things will fall into pieces, like as you mentioned with sleep. I mean, sleep is such um, a cornerstone in terms of your overall health. And it's, it's one of the pillars of health. So if you notice that you're not sleeping and you're feeling some effects and you work on that, likely other pieces will kind of fall into place, because, just even getting, half an hour less sleep than you need can raise your anxiety levels, beyond what you can handle. So you deal with your sleep, you help with your anxiety, you help with your mood, and then even your physical health can improve. So I think just like picking one spot to begin is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of looking at your life coaching aspect of what you do,
Yeah.
you must see quite a few people who find that they've got kind of unresolved trauma, or kind of, is there more type questions coming up at this time of life. I feel like we see that in the hub quite often, people going, right,
Yeah.
what next, and
Well,
that's not really a medical thing, is it? That's kind of much
no.
more of a
Yeah.
life total thing.
Yeah, like an existential thing. Yeah. Well, it is a period of transition, right? And often coincides with other transitions in your life as well. Like, so yeah, so there is that sort of feeling of like, you know, what is the meaning of life, or what, all those sort of bigger questions that arise when you're undergoing a transition. Um, so it is helpful to work on that as well, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you, in terms of your clients, whether that's your patients in the doctor's clinic, whether that's your clients in life coaching, are there any sort of common themes that you see coming up, either common themes among people or common themes in terms of what you can advise people are really good sort of starting points for helping themselves to feel better?
Yeah, well, I feel really strongly about mindfulness and how important mindfulness is to infuse into your life at any stage of life. So, and by mindfulness, I mean just kind of being aware of what's going on, um, being open and non-judgmental of any kind of thoughts that are coming to you, and um, and then just taking that pause, and being intentional about sort of what you're trying to do, and your thoughts and your actions. So if you can kind of just try to, spend your day in that, remind yourself of kind of being mindful, then it just, you can, react to things in a more mindful, intentional approach, and you're able to just manage your day so much better and manage conflict so much better. So I think, universally, that if you could just do one thing, that would be it, no matter what stage you're at.
Yeah,
And also, the other thing I would say is, we are all humans. We all have that kind of like the common, like that sense of common humanity
yeah,
touches us no matter, what stage we're at, what we're suffering with. We all have parts of our lives we wish could be different. And, just tapping into that feeling and knowing that you're not alone
yeah,
is a big one.
yeah. So just quickly going back to mindfulness, if
Yeah.
someone's watching this and they're thinking, what do I do? How do you sort of help someone get started in a mindfulness practice?
Well, there's tons of apps out there. I'm sure most people are aware of some of them, but I've been using either the 10% Happier app, or there's one that I've been using that's called, there's Headspace, and there's
Oh yeah,
Calm. Anyways, so, there's a bunch of them. And so you can get going with that. There's a few really good books out there. But even just as a first step, just reminding yourself to breathe, like just taking a minute and taking a deep breath in, and then a deep, long exhale out, that's a great first step. And it just will automatically reset your nervous system to get into the parasympathetic rest and digest mode, and you can think more clearly. So even just reminding yourself, stop and breathe is a good first step. But yeah, there's tons of amazing apps and books out there. I'm happy to recommend some books if people are interested. But breathing is a good first step, and there's tons of research out there on the benefits of breathing, actually, and breath work. So
and it's in terms of looking at sort of where and how to start, that's so, it's so important, because so many of us, when we've got maybe older parents or teenage kids or a hectic life or a hectic job or whatever, we might find that we're constantly in that fight or flight mode.
Exactly.
And actually we're not breathing. I mean, obviously we're breathing enough to stay alive. You know, I'm not suggesting that people have just stopped breathing, but you know, actually it's very easy to have stopped taking that time to take a deep breath, isn't it? And as you say, there is a lot of research out there now to show how important that is, just to reset everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And it will just shift your nervous system automatically. So
Cool. I feel like we've given people a really nice simple thing, and if we go any further we're going to make it complicated. So I'm going to say thank you incredibly.
Right at the top.
Yeah, exactly. Quite while we're ahead. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Mikel.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Emily.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here. All right. Have a